So I finally got to try the meatless Impossible Burger, Impossible Whopper from Burger King. And I'm going to tell you all about So Daniela works at night, and she left immediately after church. There's a train. And she went home to go to bed, and I had Daniel and the two little kids with me. So Daniela works at night, and she left immediately after church. There's a train. And she went home to go to bed, and I had Daniel and the two little kids with me, Jeremiah and Catherine. I'm going to pause this. Okay, we're back home, and I'm going to continue the story while sitting in the truck. Alright, I'm going to finish the story while I'm sitting out here. If I go inside, it's just going to be way too low. Jeremiah's still behind me back here. Wave, Jeremiah. Y'all see him? He wants to hear the story.
Yeah.
So, we leave church, and I have Daniel and Jeremiah and Catherine with me, and they decide they want to go to Burger King. And Burger King is okay with me to go and eat. Because, the food's okay, and they have a playground, and the kids can get a Happy Meal, and instead of getting, a cheap, horrible, wretched, disposable plastic toy in their kids' meal, they can actually get an ice cream cone instead. Did you know that? You can do that. And so I'll get to that. They ordered theirs with ice cream cone. So we ordered 2 hamburger kids meals with ice cream cones instead of toys, and I ordered the 2 for $10 Whopper meals, one for me and one for Daniel. And so I paid for the order. I had to beg the lady. They were really, really packed out busy. They really, truly were. I'm not making a dig about their service. I'm just telling a story. Some of the Cotton Patch geese have come to visit. So we had to wait a really, really, really long time to get our food. I mean, like 20 minutes. People that ordered after us had already received their food and had finished their meal and were leaving the restaurant. The kids were playing and goofing off, and so I wasn't in any kind of real hurry, but I did walk up to the counter, and the man asked, what can I help you with? And I said, I'm still waiting on my food for my order. And he said, well, what name was it under? And I said Daniel, because I'd given him Daniel's name. No big deal. And he had to go back through the little computer thing, punching the little buttons on the screen. And he said, oh, well, that got bumped by accident. It'll be just a minute. And so he starts putting food together. He gets the kids' meals together. They go in little separate bags. And he starts putting French fries on the tray. And then he starts putting the 2 burgers on there. And one was this big, huge red wrapper thing that was not a Whopper. And I'm thinking to myself, don't make a big deal. Don't make a big deal. Don't make a big deal. As long as everybody gets something to eat, that's all that matters. Just take whatever it is he puts on there. Don't make a big deal. And so he puts a Whopper on there, and I go and I sit down at the table. I give the big red thing to Daniel because it says something like a big mega bacon double Whopper or something or other. And Daniel opens it up, and there's 2 big huge meat patties and 3 slices of cheese and like 6 slices of bacon, and he is just ecstatic. He said, oh wow, it's so big. And so he ate the whole thing and was really, 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 really happy with it. I got the Impossible Whopper, the plant-based twig and bark and root and leaf burger. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not supposed to be eating meat anyhow. Not really supposed to be eating much of anything anyhow. Jeremiah's still back there. I'll link to that video up here somewhere. So I open it up and I look at it, and it looks and it smells just like a regular Whopper. And so I said, okay, I'm going to try this thing. So I put my big boy pants on and I said, okay, let's do this. And so I take a bite. Honestly, it did not taste bad at all. If I had never eaten a Whopper in my life, and you had not told me what it was, I would say, wow, this is really, really good. And it was. It was really good. It was not a regular Whopper. It was not a hamburger. But it was good. Okay? I have tried other vegetarian burger, meatless hamburger patty type things before. And this is by far the best of them. And so we finished our meal and we came home. Everything's fine and wonderful and great and just perfect and dandy. Daniela's still asleep, so we go outside and we feed the birds and the goats and the rabbits and all the other animals that we have outside. And I come in and it's about 4 or 5 o'clock and Daniela's waking up and starting to get ready. And Catherine says, I'm hungry, what's for supper? And I said, well, let's just have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich tonight. And so everybody gets a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm not feeling good at the time, and so I just don't eat anything. Later I did, about 8 o'clock, I ate a very small bowl of Raisin Bran cereal with just enough milk to wet it. By about 10 o'clock I was sick. By 11 o'clock I had a fever. I was running a fever, and I was sweating, having chills. By 12 o'clock I was bloated, and here's where it gets gross. I was burping up rotten egg smell, tasting burps, belches. It was awful. I was in the bathroom most of the night. Now I have a sensitive, I'm sensitive, and I have a sensitive stomach anyhow. I'm not saying it was the Impossible Whopper, but I'll never eat another one. Not after last night. About 4:30 this morning, I made myself vomit, and it was all still there, and it all came back out. And so about 6 o'clock this morning, I actually felt like I could lay down, because before I couldn't even lay down in the bed. And so I had a miserable night. Daniela was at work. The kids were all asleep, and I was sitting up on the edge of the bed most of the night. I prayed for most of you. I did make use of my time, so I called out a whole lot of your names. I do appreciate you watching my videos. I really, truly do. So about 6:30, I actually was able to go to sleep a little bit. Jonathan has started a new job at the feed store, CNR Feeds, and so he doesn't have his driver's license yet. The deal has always been you can get your driver's license when you have a job and can pay for your own insurance, and he hasn't kept a job long enough to pay for insurance. And so I had to take him to work this morning, and so he came in about 7:20 and said, hey, Dad, you need to take me to work. So he woke me up. So when I got back home, Daniela was already here, and I laid down with her, and I slept until about noon. And Daniel came and woke me up and said, hey, Dad, take me to the thrift store. And so that's where we are now. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon now. And so that's where we are now. I was sick all night long. Have you tried the Impossible Whopper? How did you like it? Let me know what you think. God bless you. Bye-bye. How redneck are we? I left the truck door open for about 30 seconds and a Rhode Island Red Hen hopped in here.